What is up, GG603 here, owner and operator of TSW Sweet Wrestling. It's Sunday, another round of power rankings. We did things a little different this week. Let's dive on into it, baby. Little tighter format. We're going to focus on the 25. We'll show 5 on the outskirts, post previous 15. Thought it was a little tighter this way, like the way it went last week. So quick on the outskirts looking, of course, we've got the beat caught number contender for the trios titles off the show this week. And of course, Sap Daddy, big win against Khan, little shenanigans involved there certainly, but coming at 30 unranked, of course, the first win for Sir. So had to give a little shout out there, of course, Sir, alongside the one and only big time TS2 Sweet, looking to challenge that heavyweight championship. Sir's gonna be a big part of that thing. We've got an interesting one, a couple of these here today. You know, let's show some love to folks who really showed up this week as well on these outskirts. We have one P8 Tony, first blood victory over Emma, will be in the Rumble. Love to see it for one P8 Tony, marquee win possibly in the career. One Tony. We've got a couple guys with some huge wins too. We got Fend here, and of course Rocks right along with him. Congregation tag team qualified for the big Rumble match, so let's see what those guys can do. You know, it's been a little dicey for Fend and Rocks since debuting. Very good so far. Moving right along here, we got LBJ. By the way, all those guys previously unranked. We have 17. Was the last time we had LB officially ranked here, in at 26. Of course, qualified for the Rumble. Really good showing in that Rumble momentum match. Didn't get the job done, but really liked what we saw from LB there. Definitely building a little bit of momentum as well. And now 25, let's get it. We got JG here. Of course, gonna find a way to get myself in these videos whenever we can. Inactive right now, he's injured, was qualified for the Rumble, but attacked viciously by Ichabod. Haven't seen or heard from him since. So very curious what that's gonna mean. Is he gonna be replaced? We're gonna find out in just a short few weeks time. Previously ranked 18th. We've got Phineas and Irv here coming in at 24. Haven't written as 17 because I do believe he was 17 on this rank last week, and LB slipped the rankings last week with the way we kind of tightened up the format there. But of course, Finn challenging for those tag titles. Backstage brawl didn't quite go his way, but I'm curious how that tag match goes on. Again, we mentioned, I don't even know if that's gonna happen at the Rumble. That might happen beforehand, because this is a heated rivalry right now. We have got the former heavyweight champion, NMO, dropped Mac couple spots, not doing too much at the moment, but he is locked and loaded for the Rumble match. Really hope he can get a good showing there after missing out on Money in the Bank. Talk about the Rumble, talk about big matches. We're going to talk about thy King Khan now, of course. Second time going for this cruiserweight title. Hopefully this is the time he gets the job done, but he's got the Dax stacked against him, of course, with BDE Army, Clap, Rock and Rollin', and of course, officially announced this last week, that will be a Wall Street fight, as we are in New York, and that certainly is going to favor the Clap Daddy. On previously 20th. We've got DJ. Oh, big jump up the rankings here. 38 up to 21, of course, winning that Rumble qualifier, taking out Prod at the end there. And DJ looked good during that match as well, so really liked what I saw there. Of course, former 3-time tag champion. Will challenge for those tag titles soon. Was set to be at the Rumble, but I tell you what, man, this Founding Fathers Disciples feud is so hot right now. I think the Birds are gonna have to wait maybe a week for that matchup. We've got Z Rocker, former champ from 12 back to 20. Good showing. Hell in a Cell be fickle in 2 out of 3 falls, but a fantastic match there. We can confirm Z-Rock we are going to put in the Rumble. I think he's definitely earned these last couple weeks, showing out some huge matchups, and I believe the Rumble field, by the way, getting close to about 20, and we're going to be done around then. We don't announce too much of that field, so these spots are going to become paramount these next few weeks. Speaking of these big spots, we have Chef. Previously was in the 40 spot, up to 19 now, of course, winning that Fatal 4 qualifier. Of course, the Congregation rolling right now. All 3 confirmed for the Rumble at this moment. Huge implications as we get closer to the Rumble and WrestleMania, 603 Mania, I should say, for the Congregation. Trios, tags, singles, all in play right now for these guys. We've got AJ, 10 spots, jumping up here, of course, winning that Fatal 4-way aforementioned with LBJ, defeating some of the guys in the Rumble, getting a +1 for the momentum boost. I mean, it doesn't show it there, but, you know, in game with the way the momentum stacks. Big win there for AJ. It's been a little bit ice cold recently since losing the Universal title, so excited to see what's next for AJ and where he falls in the Rumble field itself. A lot of people in chat calling for some wild comms, and I kind of like the way they think, but we're going to see how that plays out once again, few weeks time. Talk about the Universal title. We talk about the challenger for said Universal title. We're talking Up and Adam Gaming here. 22 up to the 17 spot. Of course, we'll be facing off with Boxy. But we got some questions here. Next week, we know Boxy will face Adam in some regard, likely a tag team match style. Does Albrecht step up? Does Adam even have a tag team partner? Of course, dissolving previous partnerships with CJ Sauce. Curious to see how this plays out in the very near future here for Up and Adam as we get closer to the Rumble. Rumble's got some big matches, and few get bigger than the first ever Trios Hell in a Cell match. Yes, indeed, we've got DT, Kopak, and Kapnerk. Of course, originally, the Trios matchup, DT2 was in there. DT2 got absolutely blasted at the end of that match. No better way to describe that. Double teamed to oblivion, got pinned. So we're like, all right, let's bring Daddy in. Cap comes through, and if you know, we've mentioned it a couple times in passing, but not sure it's ever been really officially mentioned on a video. But Team America, this is Freebird rules here, so DT2 is still recognized as a trios champion, despite it technically being a group of 4, as is the Freebird rule here. So DT could absolutely step in at any point and try to defend those titles, but right now it looks like Cap, Kopak, and DT are the trio to hopefully take those guys into the upper echelon here in TSW. Once again, Trios Hell in a Cell. That's going to be a banger. By the way, the rankings, they just fell back one spot because 1 or 2 people jumped big here, including Big Time. Big jump, 16 to 13, bumping them back a little bit here. Of course, Big Time, big showing. Tag Action, we mentioned Sir got the win there. It's going to be interesting how this plays out, though. You know, Sir at ringside, but of course, Ched, you know, he's got the Ballers. He's got Trio. A lot of questions going on here regarding that. You know, when you talk about the CPS, of course, we're talking the Ched Protection Squad strictly. Nothing else could possibly be meant by that. And there's gonna be some curiosity, some crossover as well. You know, Landmark with Money in the Bank, the Backstage Brawl, the connections are starting to form here. And oh, what a web we weave. When we deceive, that doesn't apply here quite. But shit's getting wild, man. I got no... Oh, man, hooking up something. A 603 Mania season, bros. From 603 Mania, never mind, not quite where we thought this one was falling. We had one spot slipped up here on the rankings, but actually, it does make sense, so never mind. From 26 up to 12, we're talking Huggies. Huggies pins in that Trios women's match, gets the win for the team. I'm telling you, we're considering a Fatal 4 at the Rumble, but I think right now we let Huggies and Steph play it out, and then maybe the other 2 step in later on. I don't know. I don't want to make any rash decisions here and stack the deck too unfairly against Steph, who's been phenomenal as now a 4-time champion. We're not here to talk about Steph. We're here to talk about Huggies, former women's champion. I believe really only 1 loss here in TSW, of course, losing that title. So Huggies alongside the Queens of TSW with a little but we got Mrs. JG 603 here, staying pat at 11. And normally it'd be, well, you pair all 3 together. Well, there was actually a little split in the rankings this week, as Steph drops back 1 spot to the 10 hole. The reason being here is she did take the loss this week in Tag Action, and Jen has been phenomenal. Only 1 loss to Miss Chico, and she's looked dominant in her efforts. So Steph falls back a little bit here at 10, but she's gonna need a chance to get a big win next week, get some momentum back towards the Rumble. We might be doing Steph versus Jen one-on-one, which would be a marquee, huge matchup that cannot be taken lightly, but we're going to see how this plays out. The women's division really heating up right now, I'll be honest with you. So we got, of course, Steph and Jen flopping 9-10, 10-9. Couple staying pat type situations. We've got the clap daddy, Mr. Wall Street himself. Oh, the shareholders are thrilled with this man. He is taking this division to the moon. All-time interest rates peaking at the moment. Green line, red line, all that good stuff. We got the Wall Street fight coming up, as we touched on with Khan. We touched on BDE Army there at ringside. Khan, deck is stacked. The BDE is stacked. So let's see how that plays out here. I think it behooves Khan to do something here. Do you go after one of those other guys, you know, a sap, a vibe? Do you take them out of play complete? Do you find backup here? Khan has had some relationships in the past, though certainly have changed as his body has changed. The mystery of the Khan body is truly incredible, but without a doubt, that Cruiserweight title is electric right now, and I cannot wait to see Khan versus Clap 2. Moving up, We've got Boxy, another guy inactive, but will be in action this upcoming week again in some form or way with Adam likely tag action. Boxy, of course, heel turn. Despicable attack backstage, orchestrated by Albrecht, of course, his Springstock teammate. Really excited for this matchup. This new Boxy's looked really good so far in each of his past showings. But a big match with Adam here. You know, Adam has somehow stumbled into a face turn, it does appear, you know. Between Boxy's dastardly antics, and you think about Adam, of course, was in a tag team with his good friend CJ, and you know everything was fine and dandy. And then CJ says, "No, fuck you. We're gonna fight in a steel cage. I don't want you anymore." And Adam goes, "But me? What did I do? I did not do anything." So you know, I think Adam right now is a little sympathetic. I kind of feel bad for the guy. Crazy, I know, right? So we're gonna try to maybe get that man a little bit of backup because right now he needs some help. The tag team action likely this week. We're gonna see how that thing plays out for you. But we are getting into the top 6, and this is where it gets real interesting. He might have been murdered. There's only so much I can do. Of course, we're talking the backstage brawl. We've watched this back. We have broken it down frame by frame like this Zapruder film, and we cannot figure out what has happened. Some kind of curb stomp, a shanking, some violence executed by, of course, Raw Dog. Who else? But Mr. Money in the Bank, Landmark, taken out, missed the rest of the show. I don't think he necessarily would have gone after Ched per se, but Ched's got to watch out. Landmark's got his eyes on Ched, his eye on the tag titles. We got the Rumble on Finn. There's a lot of crossing streams. Again, the web we weave here in TSW is getting really interesting at the moment. But Landmark falling from 3 to 6. Got plenty of opportunity to bump back up in these rankings. He's got a +1 right now for the rankings, and he's also probably going to have some momentum-based stats as we get closer to the Rumble and reach the top 5. We're going to go tag team champions. They had a huge win this week. We'll put them together. 5 is Joker. Joker going from 6 up 1, and then Raw going up 1 as well from 5 to 4 here. I mean, they got a big win, backstage brawl, dominant fashion. Raw's gonna get the bit of a bump because one, Joker was just running around, don't know what the fuck he was doing, riding the elevator, having a grand old time. Raw, though, was the one who did knock out both competitors, technically speaking there. Both men are in the Rumble, both men defending the tag titles soon. It's gonna be really interesting to see how the Disciples play into Mania. And of course, we still have the question of the Disciples and their current relation to the B-Cod. I haven't seen that crossover in a bit, but I don't think that's completely done with. Since the Demon Dog's been locked away, you know, we think something has changed with the dynamic there. And then of course the videos, the caw, the crow, the raven, as it may be. There's a lot of intrigue right now at the top part of this card in TSW, and I'm dying to see how this plays out. But let's get to the final rankings here. Technically not in action. We're putting King Ched here at the 3-hole. Thick Ched, the absolute best, hanging out ringside, chilling out, maxing, relaxing. Big win last week, but you know, Ched's in a good spot right now. I think 3's very fair when you consider the people ahead of him. Of course, Shrades, electric main event showing there, retaining the hardcore championship. We can now confirm he's got a challenger next week. I don't know who this is going to be, but it's going to be a huge matchup. I'm certain of it. Shrades, his time might be coming to an end here, but as that hourglass flips and the sand trickles down on the time of Shrades, it only adds to the time of the rest of this roster, including, once again, number 1. It's going to be Brandon 2, Sweet 2K. You can't doubt this man. He's goddamn undeniable right now, defending the title every week, and just beat Rowdy in 4 minutes. Regardless of Rowdy's past, he has won a lot, and at the end of the day, all these guys are pretty evenly rated. So the fact that Brandon put him away that goddamn easy is so impressive, and man, I am dying to see what's next for him. I think we got to give him more of a challenge. I think one-on-one is not enough for Brandon 2K. So let's see what you can do next week, where you're going to have a little bit more on your plate, sir. What's that going to look like? We're going to find out when we get there. But you know what you're going to find out? 20% off Rogue Energy with code AG603 is a hell of a deal. Like what we did there? Well, I like you too. And like this video, comment, subscribe, note bell, ding activated, all that good stuff. And we will catch you next time for some more hot rankings here in TSW. Woo! Appreciate you. Bye.